What are the best fruits for farming in Blox Fruits? So I'm gonna start off with barrier fruit. Barrier is not really made for farming in the game, so I'm gonna put it at a C tier. Now next up is Magma. Magma is a very good fruit for farming, and it does the highest damage of all of these fruits. It's also a Logia type of fruit, so I'm gonna put Magma on a A tier. It is kind of slow, but Magma is really good. So Magma A tier. Definitely eat it when you're farming. Next we got Door. Door fruit is made for super fast travel. Usually people who use Door are in the third C, and they're excellent bounty hunters. It's really good for bounty hunting. So I'm just gonna put this in a C tier because I just don't think it's made for farming. Now next up we have Guac. Honestly, unawakened Guac when you're in the first sea, it's not that good. Okay, it's complete trash. I would highly recommend just eating this when you can awaken it, because unawakened Guac is just trash. If you have nothing else, just eat Guac and level up from there. I'm just gonna put this in a C tier. All right, next up we got String. String is a pretty good fruit when it is awakened, just like Guac. It's a very good fruit when it's awakened, but it's not that good for farming. Unawakened, don't really recommend eating it. Awakened String is definitely one of my most favorite fruits to PvP with, so I'm just gonna put this in a B tier. Like, it's actually a C with Guac, but I'm just gonna put it in B. Next up, I think this is the best fruit for farming. So yeah, when you have human fruit and you're like in the first C or second C, even the third C, like, this is an excellent fruit to farm with. This fruit is made for farming. This is a farming fruit, and I'm gonna put this in a S tier because it makes farming so much easier. Next up we have Love Fruit, and Love Fruit is also not really made for farming. Yeah, this fruit is no good when you are farming, and it's also not that good in PvP. It doesn't have a really good travel, so I'm gonna put this in a C tier. All right, next up we have Phoenix. Like, Phoenix is an excellent fruit when you have it awakened. I'm gonna put it next to String. Next up we have Rumble. I really don't know where to put this because for me, you also need to awaken it. Like, all of these fruits, you just need to awaken it. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna put you in B tier. Now we have Paw Fruit. Paw Fruit is good for PvP, not really for farming. Also, like, if you have nothing else, just eat it. But I'm gonna put Paw in, yeah, Paw Fruit is going in C. It's just really hard to farm with Paw. I've tried it in the second C. I ate it, but it's really hard. Most of these fruits I would just eat when you're like in the third C, where you can get mastery really fast and easy. So I'm gonna put it in the C tier. There are more good fruits coming up. Don't worry about it, okay? This is just the list. I'm going from left to right. All right, now Spin. Spin is just absolutely trash. Just eat it if you have nothing else. But yeah, D tier. Gravity, like, for farming, Gravity is no good. This fruit is not good in general. It costs over 2 million. But yeah, this fruit is no good. So definitely C tier. All right, Dole. Dole fruit is really annoying to farm with, and especially unawakened Dole. When you're in the first or second C, I would put Dole definitely not next to Magma. It does not deserve that spot. I would just put it in B tier. By the way, Dole fruit, awakened Dole, that's just one of the best fruits for PvP and for bounty hunting and in wars. So when you have Dole and you're in second C or in third C, like, definitely, like, everyone knows, awaken it and you'll be just OP. Also, why I put this in B tier, it's so Dole is between B tier and A tier because it is Logia. When you have observation haki, it is Logia, but don't bother eating this when you're in the first C. Next up we have Shadow Fruit. Shadow Fruit is a good fruit. It's not an S tier, not an A tier. Maybe for PvP I'll make a different tier list on that, on PvP. Shadow Fruit is good, and it is also like between B and A, so I'm gonna put it in B. Shadow Fruit is so good for PvP and for fighting. It's really good, but not for farming. This is a farming tier list. I'm not just gonna put any mythical fruit in S tier or A tier because they're not that good. All right, we got a really good fruit here. I think this is the best fruit in the game. Why is Venom that good for farming? Like, Venom is so good for farming because you can just keep doing damage. Your attacks keep doing damage. It's really good. It's not quite as good as Magma for farming. It's also not as bad as the fruits in B tier. So it's between B tier and A tier. Like, it's not that good as Magma, to be honest. But I'm going to put it next to Magma in an A tier. You can just farm really easy with it. Just when you have Venom, it's one of the best fruits. Just eat it. Okay, next up is Control Fruit. Control Fruit, also not made for farming. I'm going to make this really easy for you. It's not made for farming. It's pretty decent, but yeah, definitely C tier. Next up is the Kilo Fruit. Kilo Fruit is pretty good for farming, but not that good. Like, I'm just going to put Kilo in D tier. Next fruit is Dragon. Dragon is a pretty decent fruit. It has very good knockback. Dragon is not made for farming, okay? You can better store this fruit, get to the second C, level up a little bit more, be like level 1500 or something, and then eat it, have some more fun with it. But it's not made for farming, so I'm just gonna put it in a C tier. Now we got Bird Falcon. Falcon is a little bit okay, but I'm gonna put it in D tier just because it's not made for it. Spike Fruit, definitely a D tier. All right, Leopard. This fruit is a new fruit. This fruit is a crazy fruit, and it's one of the best fruits for PvP. It's ridiculous how much it costs. It costs 5 million. I don't even know where to put Leopard. It's not that good for farming, so I'm just gonna put it in a B tier. Next up is Chop Fruit. Chop Fruit deserves a not so good spot, so D tier. Smoke Fruit has a little bit of stun, and I'm gonna put Smoke in a B tier. Next up we got Spring. Spring Fruit goes in D tier. Then we have Bomb. Bomb is absolute trash. It's shit. D tier. Sand. All right, Sand Fruit is pretty good. When you're in the first C, it is very, very good for farming because it is a Logia type of fruit. It's not that good that it's not an A tier, it's not an S tier, but it's a B tier. So I'm gonna put it in B. Okay, next is Dark. Dark is, I don't know what to say about Dark Fruit. Like, the only thing, people use this fruit for stun. Yeah, no, it's not that good for farming, so I'm just gonna put it in a definitely a C tier. Not that good. Okay, Revive. Revive Fruit is not made for farming. I'm not gonna put it in D. It's garbage for farming, so I'm gonna put it in a C tier. All right, now we got Diamond. By the way, I only put String in B tier because I really like the fruit. It's not really made for farming that much, so I'm gonna put Diamond. I'm gonna put it in a C tier. So you got a lot of C tier fruits, right? And B tier, D tier, like, they're just not made for farming. But hey, I got a surprise for you. See this fruit? Light fruit? This fruit is just made for farming. It's the best fruit for farming, along with the human fruit. I mean, this fruit is made for farming. It's not an A tier. It's better than Magma. It has faster travel than Magma. This is definitely S tier. Light is S tier. Eat light. If you have light, eat it, level up. Next up, Soul Fruit. Soul Fruit is difficult to get mastery on if you're not in the third C. And it needs high mastery, right? To get all of your attacks. Let's say light only needs 110 mastery and you're done. You're good to go. This thing needs like 300 or something. I think 330 mastery. So just because it needs that much mastery, and it's also not a Logia type of fruit. The travel is pretty slow, but it's really good for PvP. And I'm just gonna put it in a B tier. All right, next up is Ice Fruit. Ice Fruit is absolutely good for farming. It's not that good as Light. Like, it's also not on the level of Magma because you get like a sword with it. So it's really good. This is S tier. Eat Ice. You also have really fast travel. Next up is Flame Fruit. Flame Fruit is really good for farming. Okay, so Flame Fruit is pretty difficult because Flame is better than Venom for farming, but it's less good than Magma for farming, okay? But Magma is not an S tier for me. It's an A tier. So I'm gonna put Flame also in A tier just because it's better than Venom, but less good than Magma, all right? The best fruits for farming it's definitely human, ice, and light. So yeah, this is the tier list of the best farming fruits in Blox Fruits. Guys, I hope you level up fast. All right, yeah, that was it for this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.